Welcome to the Monster Stack Poker Tournament here in Grand Forks, North Dakota. We are at the Canad Inn. And man, we have had one hell of a day thus far. We've had 108 unique entries. This is a 2-day tournament. And let's go ahead. We have our feature table right now. We're going to go ahead and introduce you to them, let you know their chip stacks, and get right into the action. So in seat 1, we have Michelle Meza out of Fargo, North Dakota, 105,800 in chips. In seat 2, Brandon Dosh, no stranger to the Dakota Poker Tour, 116,300. Brandon is from Fargo. In seat 3, we have Barry Traub coming all the way from East Grand Forks, 59,900 in chips. In seat 4, probably rode with Barry, Bill Habak of East Grand Forks, 91,900 in chips. In seat 5, we have Blake Skogstad of Roseau, Minnesota, and has got a starting chip stack of 82,400. In seat 6, we have Taylor Collins of Moorhead, Minnesota, 65,900 in chips. In seat 7, we have Eric DeWitt. He is got a stack of 128,000. He's going to be second in chips on this table. In seat 8, we have Nathan Shepard of Grand Forks, 33,000 in chips. And to round off our table, the man, the myth, the legend, Mike Merrick from East Grand Forks, 212,000. He is our chip leader on this table. And Dana Castaneda, our tournament director, yelled, "Shuffle up and deal." So we'll go ahead and get started with the action. Our blinds are at 700, 1,400, and a 1,400 big blind ante. Last night we had a super satellite evening where players were able to win a seat here. I think it was our top 9 finishers were able to win a seat. Just for top 10 players were able to win a free seat here. I did not. I rebought twice, lost twice. Call that a good old goose egg. Over. Dealer button is over on Taylor Collins right now. And there we see our chip count, Mike Merrick on top, and Nathan Shepard. It's going to be our short stack at the table. He's going to be, probably going to see him making some moves early and often. Try to get some more chips going into day 2. So if you have not came out yet or are still wanting to play in the Monster Stack, you have time tomorrow. You can come on down to the Canad Inn and enter up until 1 p.m. If you do the full buy-in, $300, you get 90,000 in chips. Our current average chip count is about 94,000. So you would not be too crippled or handicapped coming into it. Still has, plenty of chips to play with there. Got a hand between Michelle and Blake. Looks like we're going to go ahead and see a flop here. Flop comes 9-3-10. Michelle first stack, she will check. And Blake is going to, look, he's reaching for chips. Looks like he's going to bet, make it 2,800. And Michelle will fold. Blake pulls chips his way. He's a happy camper. And we'll take a look right now at Eric DeWitt at seat 7. Notably, he in Season X last year, Eric won a player appreciation free roll. And so he won a $1,500 World Series of Poker package. So hopefully he's wouldn't have enjoyed that quite yet because we still have to come up on the World Series of Poker, but I'm sure he's happy to have won that last year. I think that was at Haggie's Bar and Grill in Mapleton. Action over to Eric. He'll fold. Nathan folds. And Mike Merrick will be reaching for chips. See if it's a call or a raise. Action's on Michelle. She'll call. So we'll raise up to 6,000. Michelle calls. And over onto Barry. Barry will also call. So we'll go ahead and see a flop. That flop comes Queen 3-2. 2 diamonds out there. Shell fires away for 6,000. Action on Barry. Barry will call. And we're going to spin around on the table. Oh, only 2 in. So we'll see a turn. Turn comes a deuce of clubs. Michelle immediately firing out 10,000. And that's our call from Barry. This is the 1-chip rule, so if you just throw the 1 chip out there, that is a call. So he'll get change, and our river comes a 5 of clubs. Michelle's going to bet another 10,000 into Barry. It's going to test his cojones. Wow, Barry does have the queen, and Michelle has trips. So we'll see Michelle taking in a really nice size pot, chunking Barry for quite a bit in chips. It's probably going to bring Michelle up there, definitely over the 100,000 mark. And Eric will fold. Nathan folds. Action is on Mike. And we'll see a flop comes 6, deuce, 9. Michelle will pair her 6. Michelle bets for 2,200, or Mike does, rather. And Michelle will fold her middle pair. Mike will take down the pot. So interestingly enough, while we're on the topic of Mike Merrick, he's basically free rolling 100% into this tournament. He won the $50 super satellite, won a seat into that playing at Southgate on Monday nights at the FPN, the free poker night of the Bar League. So he won a $50 seat into last night's super satellite tournament. Mike ended up winning, or at least winning a seat into today's tournament. Not only that, but he did also help load in tables because we are on a second level at Playmakers Lounge in the Canad Inn. And we got to carry this stuff upstairs. Lovely, right? But Mike, champion, definitely helped us out there. We paid him for that, and with that money, he used that to buy in for the full amount, the full 300. So Mike is 100%, free rolled in this tournament. So hats off to you, Mike. You do a lot of great things for the poker community in the East Grand Forks area, and beyond. So happy to see him on the feature table. We'll see a flop between Brandon and Michelle is 8-6. Brandon picks up open-ender. And I'm commentating from about 30 feet from the table, so can't be too loud. I can try to give some better insight, but generally if I'm not talking about hands specifically, it's because I want to keep intact the integrity of the game and not have any players listen in on what I might be saying to tip them off as to what the hand would be. And here we see on the turn is a jack. So if I do talk about it, I am going to be a little bit quieter. But Brandon will bet $3,500 over to Michelle. Michelle will call. And there is a 6 on the river, check mark on Michelle's name with her pair of jacks. Yeah, 2-pair 8-kicker, which is better than Brandon's open-ender. Michelle looks to bet 1,600. And nonetheless, Brandon will fold, so Michelle will be pulling chips in her way. A hot start here for Michelle Meza. So something we don't see, I guess, terribly often. It may be less than half of our tournaments that in the Dakota Poker Tour are a 2-day tournament. So that means, the pace of play is a little bit slower. Plus, we have a monster stack, so the full buy-ins was 90,000 as opposed to the, I think it's about 30,000 in chips on any other normal tournament. So players are pretty deep. We didn't have anyone bust until, the first person busted out maybe 3 or 4 hours into the tournament. Just with the size of the starting stack, I mean, you really shouldn't be busting that early if you do place, even somewhat conservatively. We got 3 players in on the hand. It comes 8, ace, 10, 2 spades. We're going to check, check, check over, and our turn is a 10 of diamonds. Brandon bets 1,600 over to Barry. Barry will fold and see what Bill does here. Yeah, Bill folds, so Barry pulls chips in his way. So we are on a 15-minute delay, so right now our stream just went live, so 15 minutes from now, people, thanks for tuning in. And I'll be monitoring the Facebook chat. Just give some shout-outs, or if you guys have any questions or want to razz your favorite players here on the Dakota Poker Tour, we'll make sure to do that as well, because why not? So we got 5 players in on the hand. 6-5-7 is your flop. Eric will take a stab at it for 1,700. $6,600. And Bill will call. So 2 players into the turn comes 5 of spades. Looks like we'll check into a river, and that river does come a 3. So Eric will get the check mark here. Bill does check, and I think Eric, or they did just check, and yeah, check, and Eric will expose his winning hand.
Oh, cool. Oh, I'm sorry. Right? I like it. Michelle?
What you got?
Try them on. Vision may be a little bit blurred.
So again, if maybe you're just tuning in, this is a 2-day tournament in Grand Forks, North Dakota. We are at the Canad Inn. And if you are itching to play some poker or want a piece of the action up here, you have time to register yet till tomorrow, 1 p.m. Come on up here and buy in and test your luck. We do have 108 unique entries for players here today. And that's so far. We could expect more to register tomorrow. So sizing up to be a pretty nice prize pool. Here we'll see Bill and Blake getting into a hand together. Flop comes 8, deuce, king. Bill will bet 2,200 over to Blake to call, and he does make the call. And a queen of clubs on the turn. The flush draw does get there, so we'll definitely give Blake and or Bill pause for concern, but Blake's going to fire away for 5,000. He's going to check Bill, see if he does have it. Bill does fold. Blake will pull chips in his way. Nice little hand there for Blake. The DPT crew just got back a couple weeks ago now from the FPN National Championship at the Golden Nugget in Las Vegas, Nevada. We gave away two $10,000, $11,000 prize packages into the World Series of Poker. It was a $10K buy-in with $1,000 in travel expenses. So it's definitely had some time to recharge, come back, and now we're back at it again, starting up the Dakota Poker Tour. This is our first event of the year 2022, but not the first event for Season XI, Season 11. Here we see Eric pulling in some chips his way, winning a nice little pot. Again, blinds are at 700, 1,400 with a big blind ante of 1,400.
Not yet. Yeah, Brandon. There you go. Yeah. Yep.
So we got Barry and Eric in a hand here. Barry's got his top pair versus Eric's middle pair. Bet is 4,000, and Eric will call. And we'll see a river is another ace. Eric will quickly check over to Barry. Can definitely imagine Barry trying to get a nice value bet going here. Definitely knows he has the nuts in this hand. Well, could have a straight. That's better than trip aces, but Eric doesn't have it, so Barry will bet 10,700 and Eric will fold. Definitely, if you are watching from Facebook and or YouTube, do all the things, the like, subscribe, share, whatever allows you to be notified in the future of any other broadcasts, and we go live again. And Michelle looking down at King 6 suited of diamonds. Diamantes, as they say. Michelle will, looks like she calls. We'll fold around to Blake. Blake, you're in a hand, bud. Quit drinking beer. He will fold. Over to Eric. Eric will call with his suited connectors. Calls for 700 in the small blind, and Nathan will check his option. We'll see a flop. Flop comes Queen, King, King. Michelle's going to test the waters with a $1,400, not dollar, but $1,400 bet. And get a call from Nathan. Turn comes a 7. Another spade. Oh boy. All in for Nathan. Michelle, she'll call and she'll flip up Trip Kings versus Nathan's Queen. Would have needed a spade on the river without pairing the board, and that's it. Michelle's going to eliminate Nathan Shepard. So thank you, Nathan, for playing. Is from Grand Forks, so we won't have too long of a drive home. But hey, maybe someone should text Nathan and have him tune in the next 15 minutes so he can watch himself bust out live. Hey, and there we see our chip count. Mike Merrick still on top with 209,000. Michelle Meza nipping at his heels. Our short stack now at the table, Barry Traub, 41,000. Here we see Michelle calling and Brandon Dosh raising to 3,000. Taylor Collins of Moorhead will call. Over to Mike Merrick. He will call, and Michelle also will call. 4 ways into the flop. And our flop will come unknown at this point. There it is, King 3-5. 2 diamonds out there. We're going to check, 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 check. Oh, we'll see what Taylor does here. He's reaching for chips. I'm going to bet that he's going to bet, and he does, 2,500. Action is on Mike Merrick. He will call. Over to Michelle Meza. She'll make the call of 2,500, and Brandon will get out of the way. And we'll see a turn. Turn comes a 9 of diamonds, so flush draw gets there. That's always scary if you don't have 2 diamonds in your hand. So Michelle being aggressive here, betting 10,000 in chips. Michael. Oh, wow. Nice job, Michelle. Got Taylor off his trip 5s. That's incredible. Way to be aggressive, gal. It's going to bring Michelle even closer to being chip lead if she isn't already. Just at this feature table. I think we have 10 other tables going. So a nice size field here. Brandon will call the big blind, 1400, over to Mike Merrick in the small blind. He'll call in the small blind, and Michelle will check her option. And we're going to see a flop from our dealer, Cindy. Jack 6-4, all hearts. Oh boy. There's hearts out there. So Michael bet 5,000. Michelle taking her time and thinking she'll go ahead and fold. And Brandon's going to try to, he's got the best ammunition here. There, he'll call the 5,000 into Mike. And we're going to see a turn, which is a deuce of spades. Pretty much a blank. And Mike has the option. He'll check over to Brandon, reaching for chips, and he will bet 7,000? 7,000. And Mike will call. Our river comes another deuce of diamonds. See what Mike does here. Check, check, and Brandon has the check mark. He'll win with just his better kicker of the queen. Mike flashes his 10. You dirty dog, you. And Barry will call the big blind, 1,400. Fold around to Michelle. Michelle will call 700, and Brandon will check his option. And we'll see a flop here. Flop comes 6-4 deuce. 2 hearts out there. Michelle will check. Brandon is going to decide what to do here. He's going to bet 1,600 over to Barry. Looks like Barry will call, and Michelle now has to think on this one. Michelle will also call, so 3 players into the turn. And another deuce. And we'll check over to Barry. Barry will bet 3,000. We'll see if it's enough to get either Michelle or Brandon off their hand. Yep, there it is. And Brandon will fold as well. Barry pulls in a pot of about 13,400. Want to thank the sponsors here as we're getting into hand number 15. We got Posh Hair Salon. They do more than just hair, though. Thank you, Posh and Randy's Diner. Randy's located on University in Fargo, and with a new location opening out in West Fargo. Thanks to the tax lady, Heavenly Hog, and our sponsoring charity, Listen Inc. Thank you guys very much for all sponsoring the Dakota Poker Tour and being good partners. So Bill will raise it up to 26,000. Michelle with King 10 suited will have a little bit to think about. Really aggressive raise, kind of out of nowhere. Not really sure. The blinds and antes are so small compared to a lot of chip stacks. Like, I'm not sure what the point of betting 26,000, which is like 4 or 5x the pot. But what do I know? I'm not playing. I don't know how to play poker very well. I just talk about it sometimes. Yeah, and everyone will fold. Maybe. You know, when I'm playing, sometimes I just like to, it's just getting into momentum. Maybe you haven't seen some cards in a while, and so you just bet some astronomically high amount, and just because no one in their right mind would call you unless they had an absolutely premium hand. So there's you didn't have a premium hand even. You know, Jack 10 or Queen Jack, something not that great, not amazing at least. But again, whatever. I don't know what I'm doing. Fold around to Eric, who is going to call. Mike Merrick thinking here for a second. I'm going to either it's going to raise it up to 5,200. Michelle will fold. Brandon folds. Barry folds. Bill folds. And we'll go 2 players to the flop. We got Mike Merrick facing Eric DeWitt. Flop comes 8, 10, 6. Eric will check over to Mike. Mike will bet 6,000, it looks like. I lied. 7,000. Eric will make the call. Turn comes a 9. Eric will shove all in. Mike picking up an open ender. Does have 7 outs, but that's not great odds, especially in this position. Why would you? There's no reason. You know, Eric's got too many chips to call down like this on an open ender, on a big gamble. It would take Mike from having one of the big chip stacks on the table and bringing him down to about 50,000 left. Mike just perhaps trying to sniff the air and see if Eric is got a bunch of BS or floating around, or he does not, as we know. So Mike will fold, and Eric will pull in some chips. So Mike may be taking some time there, maybe knowing he's going to fold. His mind may have already been made up, but just maybe putting on a little bit of a charade, even making sure he's making the right fold and replaying the hand in his head, obviously making the correct fold. All right, we got a little bit of a hand here. Mike Barrett picking up a couple eights. Gonna fold around to Blake. Blake checks his option.
The small blind is 800, and the big blind is 1,600. And the ante is 1,600.
You're in the bar 9 poker group, right? You should let them know that there's some bar 9 players playing, and to post the live stream, the link or whatever you call it.
We'll have a new player coming on to our table shortly. Taylor Collins going all in. Up to Brandon to call. He'll fold over to Barry. Barry folds, and see what Bill decides to do. He will also fold. Yeah, just maybe a little too aggressive, but for anyone's liking. But Taylor maybe just trying to pick up some blinds and antes, as it is getting slightly more expensive now to play, but still, even with these size of chip stacks out there, it really isn't crippling you that bad. We'll see the blinds affecting play maybe a little bit more after today, starting tomorrow. And we'll see Michelle and Brandon calling the big blind over to Taylor again. With his 10-4 suited. He'll fold. Eric will fold. Oh, never mind. Flop comes Jack 8 Queen. Brandon will bet 3,000. Eric will fold. Michelle, yeah, Brandon spiking his 8s. Oh my goodness. Oh, so Brandon bet 3,000. There, Michelle called, keeping her around. Michelle will check. Brandon, in his off days, traps small animals. And right now, showing why he's so good at trapping animals and putting those skills to use here by trying to trap Michelle. So bet was 11,000. Yeah, Michelle making the correct fold here. Just second bottom pair. 3 overs out there and just get out of there. If they're still watching, want to say hello to Renee Gonzalez, Jason Campbell, and Eric Halterstrom.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Michelle and Brandon folding. Barry with his ace-10 will raise to 2,500. Bill and Blake will get out of the way. Taylor and Eric get out of the way. Over to Mike. Mike will also fold, and Barry will take down. Blinds and antes, essentially.
Are you? What's up, everybody? You know how many people at home watching are going to be like, I can't wait till that guy in seat 9 gets out there. Well, they brought me over here. I don't know, I just took a leave though.
So we got a new player coming in, as I said earlier, Tyler Colness. He's out of Hendrum, Minnesota. Tyler, I personally don't know him very well at all. But we're just communicating back here between control and the dealer, so didn't want to get all that in there. But Tyler Colness, no stranger to poker. In fact, very, very comfortable on the felts, I'm sure. Total live earnings for Tyler Colness, according to PokerDB.the Hendon Mob, be 219,000. Wow. So very well decorated poker player, very accomplished. I've known a number of people who have tried to make a living out of poker, which is doable, but it's still gambling at the end of the day. And Tyler probably has made a pretty good living, looks like, off of poker. Our flop here comes Ace King 10, and we do have both players with a couple of 6s. Very interesting. Tyler's best year. I'm just looking at some more stats here. So Tyler's best year in poker was in 2019, where he won a total of $106,341. Holy Toledo. Barry with ace queen, Blake jack 8, Michelle jack 4. She'll make the call, 800 more. Brandon's option on a couple suited connectors. Tyler's already making his presence very known on the table. He seems to be a very chatty, sociable person, which is always good to have those characters in poker. To my knowledge, I'm not sure if he's ever played in a Dakota Poker Tour event, but at least in the modern era, on the live stream, welcome to the Dakota Poker Tour, Tyler Colness. Our flop comes king, queen, 8. Barry spikes his queen. Blake's hit his bottom pair. Oh boy. Oh, and Michelle goes runner, runner. Nearly gets the straight flush. That would have been something, wouldn't it? So, Michelle, I'm going to say it, completely sucks out on the river. So, nice hand, Michelli, as I call her. Here we see Tyler Colness. He's getting the Instagram or Snapchat going. Got our tech there, Goose, reminding Tyler, or maybe telling him for the first time, rather, that where to put his cards so we can see what he has, because we want to know. In action on Taylor, he'll fold. Eric folds over to Tyler. Tyler will raised to 4,000. Mike will fold. Michelle folds. Brandon folds. Barry folds.
Well, that was actually a good
And
one.
Bill, everyone folds.
Then you guys will see how close I was to a royal. I actually am just happy with like keeping this stack right here on this. I don't want to get out. I don't want to get screwed. I don't want to get into weird situations. So I'm fun to be able to close it. I'm cooling.
Don't forget, you can watch us from one of two sources, if not both of them. Why the heck not? Facebook and YouTube. If you have not done so yet, please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Do all the things that people say when they're doing YouTube channels. Wish we could somehow shorten that up, but nonetheless, I digress. Do those things to be notified of the next time Dakota Poker Tour goes live, which will be tomorrow in the later afternoon into the evening. We'll find out what the conclusion of this tournament is. Brandon Dosh, very strong competitor in the Dakota Poker Tour, very decorated. We'll see what kind of push he makes going into the beginning of the year. But we got 5 players in. Deuce, Queen, 10 is your flop. We'll go check, check over to Eric. Eric will reach for chips, and he will bet 4,500. Michelle will fold. Brandon will fold. Barry folds, and Bill will fold as well. So here's Eric taking down, winning a pot. Want to say hi to Kimberly K. She just commented, Kirk Hammer. It's nice and insightful. Same thing with Diane Monsrud. Thank you for tuning in. Just typing in names, Melanie Skogstad Sikorsky. Very nice. Like to say hello to Peter and John Marie Wagner. That is my aunt and uncle. So hello, aunt and uncle. Also, Kimberly K. would like to say Darcy Johannesson. Maybe just cheering on other players that are sitting down, not at the feature table, which is totally fine. You can do that. And we'll call in the option checks, and we'll check, check, check. See a turn of an 8, and we might check, check, check again. Michelle does also the river's a 9. We'll check. Blake will. Everyone checks. They'll flip up their hands, and we'll see that Blake has won. He's got the best hand. Wasn't the best hand, but he won with the best hand. Eric will fold his ace-4 suited. And we'll see Tyler suited connectors 7-8. He will call. Mike will fold. Michelle will fold. Brandon will fold. What you gonna do, Barry? What you gonna do? Guess we'll find out here. He will. He'll raise to 4,000. Bill folds. Taylor folds. Wow, Barry waking up to pocket kings. I just saw that he raised. I didn't even see what he had. But Tyler will call. So we'll see a flop here, and that will come 7-5-5-1 club. He's got a pretty much nothing to Barry's kings. Barry will bet 5K. Tyler will fold.
I had an 8 in my hand too. What'd you have? Would you be 8 high? At 7, 8 o'clock. Really? 2 of them?
Two raises 4,000. Three folds.
Well, check. We got a Michelle with a couple of deuces. Actually, she's got 3 deuces. That's more than 2 queens. So she bets 6,000. Brandon will make the call into our turn of a 10. Michelle bets 10,000. Michelle raised it. There we are. River's a king. Also want to say hello on our Facebook chat. Of course, you'll hear this 15 minutes in the future. Damian Biegert, welcome. Got a few of my good disc golfing friends popping in, checking in, seeing what's up. Maybe we'll see them on the Dakota Poker Tour sometime soon. So Brandon now with a couple deuces will call. Taylor folds. Eric will call over to Tyler, who will check his option. You know, I always love being in the big blind and few callers, and I have absolutely garbage, because when the flop comes up, absolutely garbage, no one will really expect that you have hit your absolute garbage. Flop comes at 7, 6, 8 right here. Tyler flopping a gut shot. Eric pairs his 6. He's doing the best right now, and Brandon's got his couple of ducks. But Eric, Tyler, and Brandon will all check. Oh my God, here it is. The turn comes a deuce. So Brandon hits his set. Unfortunately for him, there is the straight opportunity out there, so someone might try to rep that. Here's Tyler. He's going to bet 2,700 into Brandon. Brandon's definitely going to raise it up here. I don't see him calling. And that's why I am not a clairvoyant, because he did just call. Eric also just called with his 6, and the river comes a 9. That'll put the check mark next to Brandon, but he also has the straight to worry about. So we'll see how these players play these hands out. Tyler, he'll fire away. Looks to be 7,400. So Brandon makes it 20,000. Eric will get out of the way. He ain't got nothing.
What do you have, Brandon? You limp?
Tyler,
Check, flop, smooth call the turn, and body on the river?
Tyler running through the action here out loud. Should put a microphone on him. He'll just do my job for me.
15? 15? All right, I fold.
So Tyler decided what to do on that hand based on the length of the break that's coming up. Just because it was 15 minutes, he decided to fold.
How do I not have a straight? I have a pair and a straight draw, blocking everything. Not a pair. Maybe did I have a seven?
So we just need to have people enunciate more. The next break is in 50 minutes, 5-0, not 15-1-5. 50 minutes.
I mean, I knew there's no way anybody had a straight. Blocking everything.
And Michelle, before she knows it, she's going to look down at ace king. She's going to love it. Michelle's reaching for some more chips here.
Not too much.
I would expect a raise to 3,000. Yeah, all right. Doing pretty good at seeing into the future here. Barry Traub, I can't see him getting away. Then he'll call. Bill will fold. Blake folds. Taylor also with ace king, but it's suited. He's going all the way in. Eric's getting out of the way. Tyler will get out of the way. So Michelle, I believe she's our chip leader. About 60,000 to call total. So we'll see what Michelle does here. If she does call, it won't chunk her for too much. You know, she won't be down and out. Still have a sizable chip stack to be aggressive and throw her chip weight around. be a bully, but I mean, wow. Yep, Michelle's reaching for chips. You know, I guess the other thing that you can think about here is if Michelle does call, I would almost suggest her, well, no, it won't even matter. I was going to say she goes all in, but for what Taylor's all in for, it would have Barry covered. So if Michelle calls and Barry calls, we'll have a, oh, wow, Michelle gets out of the way, over to Barry. If he does call, this will be for all of his chip stack, and he will be at risk. Wow, interesting laydown by Michelle. It might have, you know, if you've watched any of the World Series or Bust FPN National Championship coverage with myself and Chris Hansen, he preaches pretty big on taking all the decisions or as many decisions out of your hands as possible. So it's either fold or all in, and Michelle took all the decisions out of her hands. Folded. Interesting. Maybe worried about running into aces or kings. That would not be good either.
Just tell me after the stream. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're asking. I don't feel like that, bro. I'm not going to smoke you up anymore. It's the last level. Joe! Hope you know we have a game going.
Yeah, Blake, he'll fold over to Taylor. Looking down at Jack 10. To call, he'll have to throw 1,600 in. It looks like he's raising to 3,600.
What up, the cash? Just like Tuesday nights. You want easy money, guys? Come to Grand Forks Tuesday nights. This guy's out there betting every hand. Easy.
Action on Michelle, who just realizes it now. She's going to want to fold. Michelle will fold. And that means Taylor will pick it up. Guess I just need to say it, but seats 2 through 5, we got 4 Bs. We got the B train. Brandon, Barry, Bill, and Blake. And my name is Brian. I don't know what else starts with B. Brownies. Could really go for a brownie right now. That's for dang sure. I guess I forgot how social media works. Kimberly's not and Diane are not simply saying people's names to say them. They're tagging them, which, my bad. Just had the question from Abershay Helverson about the blind level amount starting tomorrow. Blind level will start tomorrow at $1,500, $300, 3,000 with a big blind ante of 3,000. We have 2 more levels to go after this, so we're at 700, 1,400, 1,400. No, sorry, we're at 800, 1,600, 1,600, so blinds have gone up. That was a while ago. So we'll have 1 more blind level, and then that'll pretty much do it for us here tonight. So there we have our chip count. Michelle Meza has 22% of the chips on the table in front of her. Mike Merrick still holding on to a very sizable chip count, chip stack rather. Guess my aunt and uncle are casting the DPT live stream onto their big screen, so I'll save them and all of you as well the horror of going to the camera that is on us. I think that's the saying as it goes, a face for radio. Which I was told that years ago. Somehow people still put me on TV screens for no dang reason. So Brandon here spiking trip 9s. Mike Merrick pocket 4s. Bottom pair here. Brandon with middle set will be looking to set a trap. Oh, wow, never mind. No trap set here. He's just going to fire away for 18,000. Re-raise on Mike immediately. Mike will wisely fold, and Brandon come again on pulling chips his way. Once again, we are at the Canad Inn in Grand Forks, North Dakota, as they say way up north. You're watching live coverage of the Listen Inc. Monster Stack Poker Tournament. Did have 108 unique players in the field today. That's so far. If you did want to come down and buy in now, you could, but you'd have a blind level. So if you are planning on playing in this Dakota Poker Tour event, you can, because this is a 2-day tournament. Come on down tomorrow. Enter before 1 p.m. A full buy-in. So it's a monster stack. So the full buy-in will get you 90,000 in chips. When we started the broadcast, the current chip average, or the chip average was 94,000. It's about 94,000. I'm sure that's gone up as players have busted out and whatnot. But getting a starting chip stack of 90,000, blinds will only be 1,500, 3,000, 3,000. You know, don't have to feel like you're being pressured immediately into making big moves. You do have time. You'll have probably under the average chip stack, but that's okay.
At least once every 2 months. 6 times a year, which is a lot. For you, yeah, that's like one hand there, chat. Yeah. But I'm like individually hitting people out.
All right, so Michelle has pocket 9s here versus Brandon's ace-queen. Flop came 3-7 jack. Michelle's middle pair is good. Michelle checks. Brandon will bet 2,200. Michelle will flat.
Can we get them to edit out the last 10 minutes? Hey, can we get the last 10 minutes edited out? Yeah. name. Change my name.
Attention players. This level will end in 1 minute.
No, you can't. Unless they're doing the talk.
Turn comes another jack. And we check. River comes a 5. So Michelle does have the best hand. Let's see if she can sniff it out. She'll bet 2,500. Brandon looking perplexed. He's going to look down at his hand. It has not changed from the beginning. But he doesn't like it. He didn't hit anything. So, wow. Great hand, Michelle. Way to sniff it out. It's a very good player you went up against, and you won a nice little pot from him.
We need to get the game started.
We do not know the total prize pool yet. As I said before, registration is not closed. So we will have that information tomorrow. Maybe most notable, actually, the last time we did this tournament, the Monster Stack, was 2 years ago in 2019. We're up here for this. That was in the early days of the new and improved Dakota Poker Tour. I was basically a one-man crew, so thank God we're now a two-man crew doing all this production. And Mike waking up to ace-king suited. Oh, baby. He's going to raise it up to 4,500. Michelle, Brandon fold. Let's see what happens around the B turn. Barry folds, Bill folds, Blake folds. No action from the Bs. Eric folds. Tyler folds.
Coon on my way to Canada. Oh no. Yeah, oh no.
Just got the announcement from everyone's favorite iPad Texas Hold'em clock lady. Blinds are up 1,000, 2,000 with a big blind ante of 2,000. If you've ever been to a Dakota Poker Tour event, you'll know, I guess, what the inside joke is. So let me see those aunties fly in the comment section, cheering on our poker clock, I guess. Of course, it is ante, not auntie. Tyler will raise it up to 5,500, 4,500. His ace queen. Michelle folds. Brandon folds. Barry folds. Bill folds. And Blake will fold as well. Made it around the B-roll with nothing to show for. Let's see what Taylor decides to do. 2.5 thousand to call. Does make the call, so we'll see Taylor and Tyler going at it. Flop comes Jack, Queen 7. Tyler hits his queen. Taylor smashes his 7. We'll check. Turn comes a 5. No help to either player. Taylor checks. Tyler fires away for 4,000. Let's see what Taylor does here. Wisely folds. Bottom middle pair. And there, I think that's one of Tyler's first pots won here on the feature table.
Taylor's chips feel the best out of everybody at the table.
Oh boy, Tyler really getting at it.
I love these chips.
Oh boy, he is. I can already tell Tyler is the one to get in people's heads by being a character. Which I'm a huge fan of razzing people, because if you can't razz people, where's the fun in anything? So if you are razzed or needled throughout any of our broadcasts, it's all in good fun, not actually being mean to anyone. And everyone deserves a good razz every now and then, if you know what I mean. So Bill will raise it up to 4,000. Got to fold over to Eric. Eric with actually Taylor still thinking. Taylor will check his option. Oh, yeah, 5, 3, 10, all diamonds. Eric has got the best chance at hitting one of those diamonds. Taylor does hit top pair. Bill's got jack nothing. Turn comes an 8 of spades. So Taylor with his top pair will bet 6,000. Eric will call. And Bill will fold. Interesting. Turn comes a 9. So a potential straight draw gets there. Taylor will bet, or no, they'll check. I think they check, and they'll expose their hands, and Taylor has the top pair, good kicker, and bam, just like that. If you've ever seen a hierarchy of poker hands, a pair beats nothing.
No, you keep that because they do a run out. Only 5 increments. 10? Go. Taylor.
So here's Mike Merrick. Again, long-time friend of the Dakota Poker Tour. Maybe even longer-time friend of Free Poker Network, which is our bar league, our nationwide bar league, which we just got back from Las Vegas, Nevada. We're out there for 4 days, I think it was.
Oh, God, Bill, really? I like Bill, too. We used to go back to
Still feel like I haven't caught up on sleep from then. But I guess when it comes down to it, who really needs sleep? Sleep in your grave, right? So here we see Bill raises it to 6K. Blake calls. Oh, baby. Bill gets his trips. Hits bottom set. We'll see what Blake does with ace king. So Bill will bet 6K. Blake with 2 overs. He's got to think this is not within Bill's range of hands, so he's going to fire away thinking he potentially has the best hand. Oh my God, Blake's going to raise it up to 12,000. Minimum raise, folks. What does that say about his hand? I'm not sure. It's a rhetorical question. Oh my God, Bill goes all in, baby. And Blake will fold because he knows he ain't got nothing on him.
That's what I thought about doing, to be honest. But I was like, nah. I don't want to put that strain on Cindy here, so I don't need that karma. If my bet would have got through against your set of deuces, I would have. But no, I can't. Still can't leave it.
All right, so it looks like we're chipping up the hundreds, because who wants to deal in hundreds when you could deal in thousands, yeah? Also, we do have a little bit of a side story brewing. Pun intended, because it's about beer. Blake Skogstad pounding the pitchers today. Have not seen him use the restroom once. He's down 1.5 pitchers. If we go back a couple years ago, Josh Dahlstrom at the Gastropub, that man drank maybe 2.5, 3 pitchers of beer. Sat at the table during a break, and I never saw him leave the table. You can fill in the blanks. Man's got a really iron bladder, we'll call it. So, man, Blake making a run this year. It's an intimidation factor, because you start thinking, man, that's a whole pitcher and a half down. Like, you got to think he's got to stand up from the table, but no, Blake persevering through the pressure. And he'll sit there and play poker. This is incredible, ladies and gentlemen. But Tyler holding this all in with ace, queen, up against Taylor. And Tyler did say earlier he does love Taylor's chips. Like, I think he's in love with them, so he wants them all.
I had a way good hand. That was so big. I was like, I was out of position, otherwise I would have flat out here. Thought if you had like 10s and you wanted to go with it,
Of course, we want to thank all of our dealers that came out yesterday, today, who will be coming back out tomorrow. This time of year, in these parts of the Midwest, it's very dangerous. The weather's always a threat. Whether it's snowing, blowing snow, blowing wind, or a combination of all of it. Even had reports of rain yesterday. Why? I'm not sure why. But Taylor with queen 9. He's going to fold. Eric will call the raise from Barry. Tyler, 5,000 to call with his ace-5 suited. He'll call. Mike will fold. Over to Michelle. Michelle with ace-10. She will call for 3,000 more. She was in the big blind. So here we see flop comes at 7, 9, 7. No help to anyone. So right now, Barry in the lead with his 4s. He'll bet 10K. Maybe assuming that the rest of the players are playing somewhat primo hands that don't have anything to do with 7s or 9s. So Michelle checked. Barry bet 10K. Tyler, 10K to call. He's got absolutely nothing. Over to Michelle, 10,000 to call. I believe she's our chip leader at the table. And not like a really bad hand. Like, I'd say above average hands, so it's possible to call, trying to spike an ace or her 10, which would be another over on the board. But ultimately, best just to get out of the way. It's the short stack. Let them win that small pot. No need to give them any more chips than is necessary. And there we see our chip count. So yeah, Michelle at the top, 217,000. Mike Merrick, 165,000. All the way at the bottom, we got Blake and Barry jockeying for last place.
Hey, can we give a shout out to
And
Danica Estrada
blinds
over
at
here? She's doing a
1K, 2K, 2K.
great job over there. Her and Brooke fighting somewhere in the booth. Brooke over there stuffing his face, not even working. Just kidding. And these guys back here, I don't know who they are, but shout out.
Tyler giving his own shout-outs. Okay, that's good. Totally fine with that. We are more than happy to have you on both the broadcast and playing in a Dakota Poker Tour event.
Yeah, I did.
We'll call him the man behind the mask, Tyler Colness. Everybody knows his name. Not everyone knows what he looks like. So Mike raises to 5K. Michelle folds. Brandon will call. Flop comes 7-4 ace. Mike hitting his ace. Brandon, absolutely nothing. You know, doesn't seem like Mike has a ton of chips in front of him, because he doesn't. But the value of those chips is pretty high. Got a big stack of yellows.
Dude, this guy was telling me about how he's 3-betting earlier 6-3 of hearts. You don't think I remember that? Huh?
Does anybody else have black
Yeah,
chips
go
on
look.
this table?
You
We're
just
good?
got bluffed by Deuce 3, bro. You got bluffed, bro. Everybody at home was like, how did he fold Jack High?
There he is. Now we get to look at Tyler.
Is there comments on that? I think it's all on you, and they're like, who's this guy? Dude, I'm good for the stream. Yeah, before you got here, this was pretty boring. Sorry, guys. No one's talking. I mean, it's late in the day. If it would have been level 1, I wouldn't be talking. To be fair, I just got a double up the second before I got here, so it's pretty time away. Did you give me one of those? No.
Okay, Bill Havoc, ace 10 suited. He's going to raise to 6,000. Blake out of the way. Taylor out of the way. Eric out of the way. Tyler probably going to get out of the way. There he is, yep. Nice little toss of the cards in the air. Mike out of the way. Michelle down at Jack 7. She'll get out of the way. Brandon out of the way. Brings us to Barry. Barry will call. King 10 offsuit. Flop comes 9, Jack 9. No help to Barry. It's a rainbow flop, so no flush draws there for anyone. But Bill will bet 10,000. His ace high. It's probably a pretty good bet. Probably. What do I know?
This guy's too polite. Tip this guy well, Joe. Joe, tip him. Which one? What are you talking about? You didn't take the bait? You didn't take the bait? What'd you have? You didn't have shit. You just defended like that.
So we have officially chipped up all the hundreds. They are off the table. Lowest denomination on the table is those orange chips. They are worth 500. Grays are 1,000, blues 5,000, and those yellows are 25K. Once again, we want to thank all of our sponsors here that support the Dakota Poker Tour. Posh Hair and Salon and all the good stuff there. Posh is an incredible supporter of the DPT. And just as I say that, man, you can't get much better than Randy's Diner, located off University in Fargo, with a new location opening in West Fargo. Very exciting. Congratulations to Randy's Diner on the expansion. Some of the best customer service and best diner in town. Thank you to the tax lady. And hey, oh my gosh, it's the new year. You know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to do your taxes. If you need someone to help out, whether your personal taxes or your business taxes, man, that tax lady sure knows her taxes. Really well-named business. She was in anything other than taxes. Might want to change the business name, but luckily the tax lady is in the business of taxes. So if you need to get your taxes done, need some help, maybe confirming that you get your best refund, bam, tax lady, go hit her up. And Heavenly Hog, thank you, Heavenly Hog. Incredible food. Admittingly, should know more about them, but I don't. I'm sorry. Thank you, Heavenly Hog, for being a supporter of the Dakota Poker Tour. Finally, the proceeds to this tournament, this poker tournament, will go to Listen Inc., great partner of the Dakota Poker Tour, and FPN Gaming. Thank you very much, Listen Inc., for being wonderful partners. If you want to sponsor the Dakota Poker Tour, get your name up there on the live stream. Just maybe just say something. Just say something about it, you know? We want to know. So Brandon raised to 6K. Barry called. Action is now on Blake. Whether or not he wants to. Okay, so we're going to have a fun little game of what does Blake have in his hand.
I don't remember even looking at cards.
It's the player's responsibility to protect their cards if your cards got mucked.
I don't remember looking at cards.
I understand that, but if you didn't hold them in and they got mucked, that's...
I was big blind though, like I didn't.
Yep, and I've seen big blinds hold their cards to no bets.
I didn't look at any cards. I looked at any cards. There were cards.
Actually, action's on Barry, I believe. Oh, no, we got everyone in. Okay, we're good. We're going to see a flop. Folks, brace yourselves. We're about to witness a flop. And there it is, 7, 10, 10. 2 hearts. So Barry, ace high is good right now. Brandon picks up a gut shot. Or could pair an 8. Only 4 outs, though, unless this board improves to something else. So Brandon will be aggressive here. And, man, look at that nice shot. Tyler's back. Wow, so Brandon being the first aggressor. Nice little bluff there. Nice little bluff there to win a nice little pot. Good job, bud.
give a shout out to JB.
Pretty sure I had 10-7.
JB, if you're listening. He said he's watching the stream.
If you're just joining us, started today or maxed out the day at 108 unique players in the field. Many of them, most of them, bought in for the full amount. This is a monster stack tournament, so to buy in for the full amount, $300, gets you 90K in chips. And boy, I got some good news for you if you wanted to play some poker but didn't get up here in time. Registration's open till 1 o'clock tomorrow. I think cards in the air at noon. So you have a whole hour to get up here and get into this tournament. 90,000 in chips. You'll be maybe 10K below the average chip stack when all is said and done here. So Brandon, 3 bets to 15,000. Oh my God, what do we got? Aces versus queens. Michael, 4 bet to 60,000. Man, this hand is. It's the kind of hand that really makes poker exciting. For the drama, we would want to see Brandon go all in. But we also do not want to see Brandon get knocked out of this tournament. Very strong player.
You're bad, PK. How dare you? Get good, bro. I can't wait to Belgium and good.
So Tyler, just looking at the delayed live stream, found out that he got bluffed real bad, so he's salty. But what's more important right here is Brandon counting his chips. Is he going to go all in pre-flop? This is all pre-flop, too. Mike and Brandon, about the same chip stack.
Taylor, you could be good if you knew how to fold 6 deuce, but nah, you're just not there yet, bro. Not there yet.
You gonna make me go on my phone and watch it?
It's already passed.
Yeah, Brandon wisely folds that. That was, oh boy. Okay, so I just got an update from our research team in the field that another notable chip stack in the field that is not shown here on the feature table. Jeremy Puglisa Schultz. It's 317,000 in chips. Probably the chip leader. So, got some chatter going on here in the Facebook chat. People wondering on the live status. You'll see this 15 minutes in the future, the live status of Blake. Still, actually, Blake did get up. Blake is up. I don't know where he is. We're assuming the best.
It's gonna be a shit show. I don't know about that. We're gonna see one hand every 20 minutes. With Jody on it? With Jody? No, because Coon's playing. The Coon's playing. We're gonna see one hand every 20 minutes. I'm saying he's gonna be pocket shit. Or he'll just go all in every hand. Yeah. He's buying in and going all in. Get him at this table. We want Coon at the feature table right now. We got 10 minutes. Get this dude off the table. He's useless. He's not good for your guys.
I think we have about 10 minutes on this level, and that will essentially end our broadcast here for this evening.
I don't make up rules. I abide by them. Check.
So Michelle will call the big blind. Eric will call in the small blind. Tyler will check his option. Flop comes 4-3-8. No help to anyone. We'll see. Often the first aggressor is the person who wins. So we'll see here Tyler firing away for 2,500. Michelle folds. Eric will call, though. Oh, because he does have the heart draw. It's pretty good. There comes the deuce of clubs on the turn. They're going to check. The 9 on the river. Actually, that'll give Tyler the best hand. Eric checks. Tyler checks too, and I'll flip him over. Tyler ecstatic that he had an awful hand, just not as awful as Eric, which means he won.
You're in a big draw. I was wondering, did you just talk to the chat? You had the best hand.
So here comes our chip stacks, I believe. Michelle at the top, 214,000. Brandon second place. Oh no. Mike Merrick second place, 194,000. We got Eric DeWitt third. Brandon Dosh right behind him in fourth. So Brandon, Eric, Mike, Michelle, all not looking to make drastic moves going into tomorrow. Last, maybe 10 minutes of the day. Wouldn't want to make any dumb moves, and then you were sitting, at the top, and now you're at the bottom. It's the last thing you want to do. Basically, you want around that average chip stack, which is probably in the 100,000s right now.
No, it really was. I actually thought do 6. But I was like, you know what?
We do appreciate everyone's concern for Blake. He did leave and come back. Not sure what he did. We also want to thank Tyrone Cromwell for tuning in on the broadcast here this evening. Thank you, Tyrone. He says, good luck, Michelli. So here Brandon will be first to act. He folds. Brandon into Barry. Barry folds. Barry into Bill. Bill folds. Bill into Blake. Blake will not fold.
No, but I only saw her face.
He will call. Taylor folds. Eric folds. Tyler folds. Mike in the small blind, 1,000 to call. He will call. Michelle will check her option. We're going to see a flop.
Oh, really? So you have to have your foot on the rubber when you release it at the hip. No, that's the UND grad, huh?
Flop comes ace, 3, 4. So Blake will spike an ace on the flop. He's all in for 43,000. I doubt we'll see a call. Again, I doubt it. Little does Michelle know. if she does call with nothing, she has a 1-outer.
No way. Are you serious? What? Are you serious? Did you buy it for 90K? No.
Man, with you have 1 draw, and that's a straight.
Oh my God, I want to hear this shit.
At best, it's a 4-outer.
Dude, he's going to have 200,000.
Yeah. Thank you, Michelle. For the love of God, fold it.
Dude, how do you get king first queen and you're sitting out all day? What? What?
I'd like to thank Welch's for sponsoring and being the official juice partner. That's what those guys are drinking on the table is good old grade A pulpless apple juice. Good stuff. Good stuff.
You can see, I bet that poor dude has been here since 11 a.m. all day. And then Chris Kuhn walks in the door like a jackass and gets all this shit. Yeah, like 30 seconds. That is ridiculous.
So Barry first up. He will fold. Barry folds to Bill. Bill folds to Blake. Blake folds to Taylor. Taylor will raise to 5,500. Eric folds. Tyler will call. Action on Mike Merrick. He will call into Michelle. Michelle with King 5. I mean, I guess when there's a party, you gotta join it, right? Brandon will fold, and we're 4 ways into the flop. The flop comes Queen 3-7. 2 diamonds. Tyler gets a flush draw. Taylor hits a 7. Tyler not only gets the flush draw, but also hits the 3. So Tyler with the best drawing, hand equity as they might say, will bet 4,500. Michelle will fold over into Taylor. It's again, Tyler loves Taylor's chips.
You don't want to put it all in?
He absolutely loves them, and he very well might be getting more here unless a little bit of a miracle happens for Taylor. There's a 4. So Tyler's flush draw opportunities are going down. Oh, there it is. Never mind. They checked, and on the river is another diamond. That'll get Tyler's flush draw there. Let's see if Taylor can get out of here with a little more than maybe licking some wounds. But Taylor checks. Tyler may be sensing weakness, blood in the water. I can't see him checking this down. He's basically got the nuts. I mean, second nuts. Tyler counting chips. And the only question going through Tyler's mind should be, how much do I want to take Taylor to Value Town? And that question is 12,000. Tyler believes 12,000 is Value Town. Taylor does not want any part of that. So Tyler taking more of Taylor's chips.
See, we're not bluffing that way. I wouldn't know what to do if you put that right.
I want to thank Brian Thompson for tuning in on the Facebook live stream. He says, who the heck is ordering all the fireballs? Send one down to Mexico. Or it's a really small flag. It could be Mexico. Italy, I think, is the same colors, but I'm pretty sure that's Mexico. So, Brian, if you're tuning in from Mexico, you have officially made this broadcast international, worldwide, we can claim. Thank you, Brian.
Attention players.
for tuning in.
Will end in 1 minute. After that, a 15-minute break.
So Bill will fold. Blake will fold. Taylor with queen 10 offsuit. He might be wanting to get some more chips in there. Raises it up to 4,000. Eric. Eric was our Season X player appreciation free roll. He did win that, so he won a free $1,500 World Series of Poker prize package. Eric waking up with ace-king suited. My, oh my, he will call. Michelle folds. Brandon will call in the small blind. Barry.
Seriously, there's going to be so many between 60 and 100. And honestly, at the blinds that they're at, it's literally 1 or 2 hands.
It's time for a 15-minute break.
So
Please,
it doesn't even
stop
matter.
play at the end of the current hand.
Be patient, you get one big hand, boom. you're up there.
Flop comes 5-8-5. Taylor bets. Blake folds. So once this blind level ends, which I believe is very soon, we're going to be bagging chips.
You played all day, you had experience, and you barely lost it.
We're going to be bagging chips. I think we're going to start that process soon. So
I was going to straight line them.
we're done. Holy cow. My, oh my, how time flies when you're commentating poker. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to day 1 of the Listening Monster Stack Dakota Poker Tour Season XI. That's 11 for those that don't know how to read Roman numerals. Continues tomorrow. Start cards in the air at noon. You can still buy into this tournament. The max buy-in 300 will get you 90,000 in chips. Our average chip stack will be over 100,000 by now. But come on down, Listen Inc., Monster Stack, Canad Inn, Grand Forks. If you're in the surrounding area, we'd love to have you come in. We've had 108 unique players. Prize pool is growing, and it's only going to get bigger. So, yeah, my name's Brian Peck of the Dakota Poker Tour. Want to thank the other guy in the booth with me, Chris Ragoose. There we are. So.